And so now we done got a rough estimate or a rough cut of everything with the bed. So now what I'm going to do is these little blocks here, see how I said measure properly. And I wish they would have taught this crap in school. This is more helpful than Y plus whatever that bullcrap was. I wish that they would have taught more of this here. That this right here is your friend. Measure twice, cut once, and you're able to use a whole lot of material. Or you're able to use what you got there without having to go back to town and get some more stuff and waste more money. All you gotta do is cut it right the first time. But this is it right here. So now, the beautiful part is, when I cut this here, I knew I had these little blocks left. So that's gonna give me practice for this new tool I had bought at Harbor Freight. Think if I can find it over here. Yeah, I ain't turned the lights on yet. I'm about to in a second. But it's this little Dremel. Well, I don't know if it's Dremel tool, whatever. It's for the woodwork stuff there. So the plans is with this tool here, that's gonna be a key ingredient for this woodwork here. So you see how this right here is sitting on top of it. So what I plan on doing is, let me move this out the way. I plan on notching this, so pretty much it's gonna be like a little square taken out all the way down on this side and that side right there. So that way this flat bar will lay flat in there and it'll be nice and smooth. And I have my carriage bolts going down through here, so that's what's gonna hold the wood in like that. Them carriage bolts on them little bars that go across through here, that's what's gonna hold this wood down. And then I'm gonna go up underneath there and drill holes that the wood right here is gonna hold onto the frame of itself. So pretty much I am building this truck back to the way it was built back in 1966, minus the LMC wood, getting the wood kit or whatever. Which granted, yes, it's good quality, the LMC stuff they're talking about with the wood, but we're on a budget, and this right here, I was able to build this here with a fraction of the price of that LMC wood kit. And I actually will put in the video, I'll put a snippet of what the LMC cost of this here and what I actually paid for this here, and just put a little sweat of equity in it. Well, really, I didn't sweat much because it's actually pretty cool here. It's pretty cool now, finally, after the 100-degree weather. Well, it was 90 degrees, but it felt like it was 150 degrees there, or 190 degrees. I don't know, it was just hot. I had a couple of them videos, you'll see. I was just sweating up a storm, but I'm not sweating as much in these videos here now. But anyway, I digress. So that's gonna be the plan with this here. I'm gonna do a little practicing with this here. I may show you one of the boards I'm doing. I might do it on one of those shorter boards, so that way it's just pretty much cut time, cause I already know this video is gonna be long. But yeah, it's coming along beautiful, and I really like this look. And a coworker of mine gave me an idea. I might actually polish these things here to a brighter shine. It's like a stainless steel or aluminum. I don't know, y'all type in the comment section what this might be. Not quite sure, but yeah, just give it a nice polish, cause I know this thing will polish up nice. So I'm probably gonna do that. Like I said, I got this little strip up here at the front. Like I said, main thing is I'll bend it down, make sure it's nice and flat. And this right here was just to make sure that I knew that I had a true straight angle, because this bed here is kind of warped a little bit at the front. So I wanted a true angle, so that way that makes sure my measurements back there was good. But I know y'all probably looking at this right here. I'm going to do the bed liner on that when I get through fixing the tailgate, because like I said, probably earlier on in this video, or probably early on in another video, cause I think I'm gonna make those two videos separate. In the other video, once I mix that bed liner, that's it. You have to spray that and use it, or you lose it, pretty much. So that's what we're gonna do. We'll do that whenever I fix that tailgate, and I would have one more bottle left, at least for touch-ups or another job, whatever you wanna call it. I might get ignorant and stupid and put the bed liner up under there, Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just gonna go ahead and just do the undercoating with that. Until then, let me get to practicing with these little blocks right here, and I'm gonna figure out how to use this tool here, and I'll give a review of it for sure. Like I said, hopefully it does good for me. I got the little bits and all that stuff to go with it. That's a little height adjustment from what I figure. I have never used this tool before because be honest with you, I never really done woodwork before. I really haven't. This is it's the first inklet of woodwork I've ever done, and it's not bad. I actually like it. I believe I would do a little bit more. Like I said, just measuring and all that stuff. But I guess being in the collision repair, you have to watch how you cut quarter panels, cut bed sides and all that stuff there. So just the basics, just tape measure and the triangle thing there, and your Gatorade. But nah, it's not bad though. So I believe I would do some more woodwork for sure. But till then, let me go ahead and get some practicing in with this here, and I'll give my honest review of this thing here and let y'all see me sliding one of these boards here. And after that, we're gonna stain it and lacquer it, and we're gonna put it all back together for the final time. Finally went ahead and got the router set up how I want it to be set up there. What I'm gonna do is just cut a piece off here, a final piece, so that way I know for sure it's set up right. Then we're gonna go ahead and start cutting the wood on the truck. But till then, I'm gonna go ahead and mark this up here first. Show y'all how easy it is. I'm gonna give myself plenty of room. Tell you what, I'll probably go about to right here. That should be good enough right there. That should be good enough. Shoot. Shoot. Oh my goodness. That's all right there. Now watch this. Look at that. Weevil wobble and don't fall down. Oh man. That's all right there. So the speed is up here, or the speed is on here, so we can go ahead and use level 1. I don't need it to go that fast. And literally kind of set it in here and kind of ease on it. Nice. Wasn't horrible. So now you see that little slit down there. So the only thing I'm gonna have to do when I do freestyle, I have to worry about my like inward dimension right here, because otherwise with this guide right here, it's able to just keep it right there. I might make up a little jig or something like that, a custom jig to the piece right here. But otherwise, I have to watch my pattern going through here. I have to watch it going through here, so it's not bad. You can see it starting to kind of take shape here. So now I'm gonna grab one of these aluminum pieces and show you why we're doing right now as we speak of just the way this wood is sitting up in there. It's sitting like that. So it's too much, or it's too much room sitting up there like that. So with this little router here, whatever you want to call it, this is going to allow me to cut that wood down some, and boom, flat as pancakes, or flapjacks, however you want to call it. But it's nice and level and smooth there. It's leveled in there. Let's see if I don't know if I got it set up right in the camera. There we go. It's a little bit downwards, a little bit, but I'd rather have that than this right here. You can see how that's just kind of protruding a little bit. So we don't want that. We want this. Yes, we want that there. Nice and flat. And so now, after that, oh, that rhymes. So after we got it nice and flat like that there, what we're gonna do on the back side is have it laying down in there. So that way 2 pieces of wood are gonna be in here somewhere, but that little carriage bolt, it's gonna be drilled in there. And so by the time that the only thing that be sitting up will be them little carriage boat heads, but they're just so kind of flat and round there it's actually gonna look factory. This is how the factory had some of it anyway. Now I could have went fancy with it and had TIG weld the nut to the bottom of this and just make it seamless. But between me and y'all, I'm not that good at TIG welding. I really haven't TIG welded before, but I'm going to one day. I know I am, and I should be pretty proficient at it one day if I practice long enough. But anyway, I digress. But anyway, I'm gonna drill these holes here, here, and here, and here to the little bars on the inside of that bed. And then that little carriage bolt, it's gonna go through here, and it's gonna be square, and it's gonna be nice and solid. And I can tighten it up from the bottom, and this piece is gonna pinch this wood down. So that's the key right there. To keep that's the key to get this wood all down in there and all that stuff. So it's gonna be a lengthy procedure with this here, but it's gonna look good at the end. And so now with this piece of wood right here, this piece of wood, I got some stain as well too. Let me go get the stain real quick and show you what we're gonna do. We got the stain here. Been doing my research online and some of these woodworkers. Like I said, I'm new to woodwork. You can kind of cross-reference woodwork with body work. It kind of somewhat relates. You gotta sand it. You gotta sand it. You gotta polish it. Or not polish. Well, yeah, you gotta polish it there. You gotta sand it. You gotta prep it right. Make sure everything is all nice and smooth. And prep it real good so that way it soak into the wood. And so what a couple of them guys was doing on there was I seen some of them use this one right here. I got this at Home Depot. And so what I like is, since the color of the truck is kind of that green color, I much prefer it to be as blonde as possible. And so I think that this right here be a pretty good, this would be a pretty good sealant to it. And so what I'm gonna probably wind up doing is sealing this right here. I need to make sure I don't rub on that wood too much, otherwise I might get a splinter. Just kind of rub on this here and just see what color comes out. So that's gonna be the stain. And then I want to do some spraying, some more spraying. So we got the lacquer. And so this is the one I've been seeing them use here at the lacquer. But see, the one I've been seeing them use was like satin and all that stuff, and that was kind of making me mad because I didn't want to see satin. I want to see the gloss. I want this wood to be shiny. So lacquer, gloss. I guess I'll be the one to put the gloss video of this here up. And from what it's talking about, and I know it's gonna seem like I'm slow as I don't know what, but it just hit me today. Lacquer thinner. I'm just thinking, just cleaning my guns out, all that stuff. They said, give me some lacquer thinner. It just hit me today when we doing the wood and all that stuff. Lacquer thinner. So I'm supposed to add a little bit of that there to make it kind of easier to shoot out the gun. But that's why I said we got test panels, so we're gonna make sure we get this thing done up right before we hit our masterpiece. Well, somewhat of a masterpiece. Now we're gonna go ahead and sand it down a little bit. If I got the sandpaper here, if not, I'm gonna have to get some more sandpaper tomorrow or there. But I'm gonna use what I got though. Sand it down a little bit, and I want to see what this stain looks like. The beautiful part is at Home Depot, they got these little stain packets or something like that. They got these stain packets here. I didn't even know they exist, but like I said though, again, I don't do woodwork. I do body work and mechanical. But I can add this to my resume now. They got these right here. So I can actually just kind of pour some of the stain, I guess, on here. Apparently, make sure you wear gloves. Pour this on here and just start kind of wiping it, I guess, and seeing what it looks like. I think it's fast drying. It said easy wipe on. See, it's a one-step finish. It's telling me it's a one-step, but I want to go the extra mile and see if we can put that lacquer on it and just see what happens. So I think that's what we're going to do next here. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and sand this down here real quick, and I'll turn you back on when we get ready to do the staining. From what I've been doing, the research and all that stuff, it's at least what you want to sand it is like at 180 to about 320. That's the best you want to go. Otherwise, you go lower, like in the 120s and 180. Well, not 180. I'm sorry. You go to 120 and 80 grit and definitely 36 grit. You're gonna ruin the wood, and it's gonna be all too rough and all that stuff. Please put in the comment if I'm right though, but I think I'm right about that though. It's 180 to about 320 grit sandpaper, and you got a nice smooth texture of the wood, nice and sand it down. I had just one sheet of paper of sandpaper. To be honest with you, I went 150 instead of 180, so we'll just have to see what we got. But now I'm ready to go ahead and get a towel, wipe it clean, or get the tack rag, whatever. That's why I said it's woodwork and paint work and all that stuff. It seems like it all intertwines together. So I'm gonna tack it off and get it nice and clean and start staining. So now I'm glad I happened to peek down at the instructions. So we're gonna go ahead and read this here. We're going to see how to use it there. Just the directions. Do not shake, stir before use. It said apply a good quality bristle brush. Allow the air dry 2 hours and recoat. Recoat only when previous coats have dried clear and feel hard. If the coats have dried more than 6 hours, lightly sand with 220 grit sandpaper before recoating to avoid brush marks. So I guess you can clear it, sand it back down, which that's obvious because that's even with paint in general. Sand it back down, and you can recoat it one more time for that nice flow coat there, and it'll be slick as glass. And repeat steps 1 through 3. Recoat, allow it to dry 24 hours before use. Yeah. So this is talking about brush on wise, but I want to spray it though. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to heed the warning wise. We're going to thin it out enough to where it can actually come out the gun. So the gun I'm going to use is just a cheap throwaway gun anyway. I got the Purple Harbor Freight gun, the OG of cheap guns. But it works. It really does. It works. You can't be mad at it. But it's got a 1.4 tip on it, and I think that's gonna be more than enough to put down the material I need to put down here. To be honest with you, I think I'm gonna just do a test panel. It feels pretty light, so it don't feel real thick. So I believe I can probably actually just pour it out the can and into the gun. And if I have trouble spraying out the gun, then add a little lacquer thinner, add a little more lacquer thinner, and so on and so forth. The first attempt, what I'm gonna do is just pour it straight out the can and into the gun, and I'm gonna see what it do. And if it does good, presto, we're in business. But if not, it's all right. We'll just add a little more lacquer thinner to it, just thin it out, and we'll just see how it sprays out. And if it sprays out pretty good, then oh, Bob's your uncle. Go ahead and go on with it. I'm gonna see how one coat does, because like I said, they're talking about 2 hour increments and all that stuff. But what I heard is lacquer dries pretty quick. So I don't believe it's the whole 2 hours. I think I can recoat over and over again. So that's what we're gonna wind up doing. We're just gonna just kind of recoat it. I'm gonna look at it, see if it's dry or not, and if it's like it's dry or tacked up enough, I'm gonna hit it again. So, till then, let's go ahead and get this thing set up here, and the next clip should be of me spraying the lacquer. All right. So we're gonna let it sit here and dry. See, that's that little air bubble that we're talking about. So if you let it dry or do what it needs to do, sand it down, hit it with another coat of lacquer. Even though I did too many coats, but be honest, I just wanted to see what it was gonna do. So far so good. I like that look. I really do. But till then, I'm gonna go ahead and just set it over here for now. Just let it dry and let it do its thing. Let the bubbles come and let me sand it down and so on and so forth. But man, that's gonna look sharp on this truck here. If we can get this wood to look like that right there all the way through, that's gonna look sharp. Real sharp. Then I just go ahead and get them aluminum polish, the aluminum polished up, and it's gonna be good. But till then, I think I'm gonna go ahead and probably the first little pieces I might try to tackle might be this one here and these little corner pieces here, and I might actually do that little piece there. So just a quick explanation here now. And I got the wood slotted down like I wanted to. Looks pretty good. I'm gonna wind up putting another plate back here, kind of similar to how I did up there at the front. How I'm gonna drill the holes and get this thing to hold down. You probably noticed the tape right here. So what I'm going to do is, because it's going to be very challenging for me to go up from the bottom and drill them holes into the rails going that way, what I'm gonna do is go ahead and take the wood out. I gotta take the wood out anyway, because we're gonna go ahead and do the staining of it. We're gonna do some of that Thompson water sealant stuff there, because just doing the testing of that varnish and all that stuff there didn't really do what I wanted it to do. And so all we're gonna do is just keep it simple. Just keep it simple at this point in time here. But till then, I'm gonna take the wood out of here. And yeah, you see how I got it notched in here. So that little edge of thing works out perfect. So it's nice and flat down through here. And so all I gotta do now is take the wood out, have these little metal strips here, so that way I can see the strips going this way here. And I can just drill both of them at the same time. So just kind of hold them and line them up where it needs to be lined up at. And then drill at the same time, and that's gonna save me a whole bunch of time and effort of trying to measure and all that stuff there. Just drill them at the same time and kind of work that hole a little bit, so that way that carriage boat will fit in there. And so technically speaking, the only thing that'll be sitting up on this bed will be the carriage boats, which it should look kind of somewhat factory, should. But and how we're gonna fit this right here too as well, I gotta go back to Home Depot and get me another strip like this right here, so that way I can run it over here. Otherwise, these two right here are the half strips. These are half strips here, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the little wheel housing things out of the way again, and let's get this wood out and get it sealed up and all that stuff, and get these little metal strips here ready. Then I'll paint the inside of the little frame rails, some of that undercoating and all that stuff. And we'll be ready in no time. So till then, let me get back to work. So now you see what I'm talking about now. Got the tape marked up there beforehand, and got these right here at the bottom here. So that gave me my perfect alignment, and that's exactly where the boards are gonna lay. So that's exactly where these things are gonna be drilled. And that's the bottom line.
I said I want to order 2 cheeseburgers, and that's the bottom line.
Don't worry, people, I'll fix that up pretty quickly. But right now, I'm just trying to get alignment. Because this might be the last part of this little bed thing here, we're gonna call it. Let's see. That looks pretty good right there. So now you see what I'm talking about here. So we got this all lined up right here. It's gonna be lined up, so should be able to go through all down through there, and then some. So see what I'm talking about? Boom. I might have to lift the bed up a little bit just to get this right here above the fuel tank, just enough to tighten those bolts down. We'll see, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but till then, we're cruising right now. So, boom, that looks decent. That looks decent right there too, so now you see what we're dealing with. I'm gonna have to go to Home Depot again to get another strip so that way I can just run it straight all the way through there. But after that, I'm golden. But right now, I got enough to do what I need to do right now. That's the strips of wood we're gonna do. And don't worry, I got them all numbered here on the bottom. So I know the number combination. So this is 1 mark. So that's 1 mark there. This one right here should be 2, 3, 4, 5, and the other one 6 down there. So make sure you just stay organized with it, because how you cut it is how it's gotta be. And that's the bottom line. Oh man. I will trim a little bit of this here down, just a little bit. I don't need to trim too much though. So that way it fits in there a lot better. So, and you can actually see the old bolt holes from the other one here, but like I said, I got these boards a lot wider than the factory. I think it looks a lot better, and frankly, it just makes the job a lot quicker. I'm kind of on the fence, because that is pretty close. Right here in this area here, that is pretty close. I really can't put a fat tire on it like I would like to, versus if I had the 2, where's them things at? Right here. These little middle pieces right here. I had one here, and the other one up there. And that way that gave me nothing but clearance room all day long for a big fat tire back there. But again, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So till then, let me stop talking and let's get back to work. Now, I know some of y'all thinking, saying, wait a minute, I thought he was doing that Thompson water seal. Well, I wound up finding a good, what do you call it, stain. I like this color a lot better than that clear stain I had. That clear stain I had, it was all right, but I got to looking at it some more. It needs some pop. And so I tried another stain, which is this here. And let me tell you, I like the way it looked. It looked good against this color here. And so now, what you're seeing me do now is I'm putting the lacquer on there. So I had to really speed up this process of this video here. Because when I tell you I put that lacquer on slow, like a turtle, I put it on slow. It is thick, really thick as oatmeal. But it looks fantastic though. It really does. And I was very impressed with the Harbor Freight Purple Gun, the way it handled that lacquer. Like I said, they put it on there. You can actually see it. You can see the spray patterns on there. And so I was pleased with it. I was very pleased. And then I actually mixed up the right amount too. That usually don't happen sometimes, but when it does, it definitely feels good. But see, now we starting to see some progress. And so now I got it laid back in there. Now you see the color contrast with that. And this is the final result. It took me a month to finally do this here. But anyway, I hope you like the content. Like, comment, subscribe. Please share the video. I really would appreciate your support. Until then, you know my motto. Stay busy and have fun with it. I sure had fun with this one. I can add this to my resume now.